right, guys, here we go. The map is Antiga Shipyard, and in the upper right part of it, we have our Zerg player taking out Marine King Prime last week and then taking out the entire Prime team in the GSTL. It is Slayer's CoCa. He's back, and he's looking to beat even more people, including our Protoss player here from the team, Startail, in the lower left. He's extremely good right now. Got second place at IPL4. Among other notable accomplishments recently, it is StarSquirtle.
Yeah, I just wrote an article about these two players, so I have a lot of information about them just very fresh. So CoCa was a guy who actually made round of 8 CoDS twice in 2011. Then, of course, he had the problem, the ESV Korean Weekly, where he threw a match to Beyond Prime, his former teammate, actually, on Zenex. So because of that controversy, he went and forfeited his spot in CoDS and went ahead and actually kind of sat out from a lot of the team matches for a while, too. Was still practicing, but, you know, kind of faded off from the scene for a few months, but he's kind of come back with a passion. He's doing well once again, not just in this tournament, but he's also, you know, as you mentioned, all killed Prime, so he's certainly looking to be back in top form. Now, his opponent he's going up against, though, Squirtle, is a guy who's just absolutely ridiculous. He had some 1v1 experience winning getting third place in the IEM World Championships for Season 5 of IEM, and then he even top-8'd in NASL, but he struggled to find some relevancy afterwards, but recently he's been on top of his game. He finished second place at IPL, as you mentioned. He knocked out 2-0, MMA, and Marine King Prime in the lower bracket, took the first set off of Fnatic Alive as well, and then took second place in GSL immediately afterwards.
Yeah, I'm really glad to see CoCa back, though. I mean, he kind of made a dumb mistake, you know, and it wasn't really even, and he wasn't really even officially punished by any organizations. The punishment was kind of voluntary, something that the staff on Slayers kind of decided. Jessica and Boxer kind of wanted him to take some time and think about things. So CoCa did have to take a little bit of break from competitive play, but as we've seen in recent results, he definitely did not slack at all on the practice. He is back and, frankly, better than ever. I mean, he's just looking really, really good lately, especially in Zerg versus Protoss. I got a chance to check out the replays from his TSL games earlier today, and what impressed me was how good of a job CoCa did at responding, and not just responding to what he saw his opponent doing, but also just making the exact right amount of every sort of unit he needed to make in various situations against his opponents. So that's what I'm kind of going to be looking for more than anything from CoCa in this match, is kind of how he responds to things from Squirtle, because it really feels like that's kind of his strong suit right now in Zerg versus Protoss, not just simply executing some sort of build and doing damage, but rather kind of playing in the traditional Zerg style, you know, and just kind of reacting.
Yeah, 3 base, no gas for him, so nothing out of the ordinary. Squirtle side of things, he did decide to Nexus first, and he actually put up his second gas pretty far after his first one, but may have just been waiting on some resources to gather there. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Interesting to note, though, that he is going for this configuration of the Forge Fast Expand, building it from his ramp down to his Nexus and leaving this area a bit more exposed. We even saw Liquid Hero do this against Dongrigu at the Hanaport Knights event, so certainly Squirtle isn't alone in choosing that path.
Yeah, well, I think on this map, it's actually the better way to go as far as a wall-off. If you wall-off at the ramp, like we've seen people do in the past, you do make yourself vulnerable to Roach Ling all-ins and just general aggression. You know, if they come up and take out your third, the next stop is going to be that ramp, and if you have a bunch of buildings there, you're really running the risk of losing a lot of key structures. So it's a better idea, I think, to kind of build that back. You can protect your mineral line a little bit better with that wall-in that Squirtle's chosen. And yeah, he is definitely a big threat to CoCa in this match too. I mean, if anyone could come in and knock him out after getting just one win in Fight Club, it's definitely going to be Squirtle. That probe running for his life right now. Oh, he didn't quite make it. Oh well.
Well, as we can see, Squirtle ended up going with a pretty early robotics facility. No second or third and fourth gas quite yet, though. And Squirtle was someone who, in PvT back around IPL4, was able to hit really, really awesome and super strong 2-base timing attacks. He was hitting the 2-base Colossus and a lot of different configurations, whether it be a little more upgrade heavy or just that kind of disgusting, super quick 10-minute 6-gate Colossus without too many upgrades.
Yep.
So he certainly certainly no stranger to that. Now, his Robo early gives him a lot of flexibility, though. Third and fourth gas coming down, he can decide to try and take a quick third if he wants to and just kind of defend this destructible debris area, or he can just sit back and hit that all-too-popular 3 Immortal timing we've been seeing out of Protoss players lately.
Yep, now CoCa did his regular 630 scout with that Overlord into the main, but didn't really see a whole lot. He's got a Ling there as well, but he hasn't gotten in close enough to see that Robo facility yet because of the photon cannon there, but I think he can make a pretty safe assumption that it is that. He doesn't see the Forge moving anymore, which means it's probably not like a very quick +2 build or anything. I mean, +1 is just starting right now, for that matter. And he also isn't seeing anything like Phoenixes or Void Rays out on the map, so by process of elimination, you can kind of make an educated guess that it's going to be Robo. And like you mentioned earlier, you know, Squirtle has really been liking his Colossus play, his Robo play in general a lot in StarCraft 2 lately. That said, in some of Squirtle's recent games, he has been going Stargate too, which is something that's gaining a little bit more popularity in the matchup. We actually saw Hero do it against DRG really effectively this last weekend at Hot Important Nights. So it's definitely something that's out there. I mean, Protoss have a lot of really good legitimate options in this matchup right now.
And indeed, he is going after 6 gates and that Robo for now. He's got 2 Immortals out, and the third is on the way. Warp Gate's just finishing up, so he can hit the really nice +1 if he so desires. So he's got a fair number of units on the field and starting to position himself just a little bit forward. This looks to be a very strong push.
Yep, now how many probes does he have behind this? Let's
46.
check that out.
He cut at 46 a while ago.
Oh, okay, all right. So it's not exactly the lowest amount of probes ever. I mean, he could try to expand off of this. But, you know, he's also going to, like you said, have a really good timing here with +1. And with all these gateways, he's got 2 more gateways on the way right now as well. A couple more cannons just to kind of stay safe. So, yeah, I think he is going to put a lot into this push, it looks like. And CoCa, though, is going to see this right away. Guardian Shield having to be used a little bit early, and that's kind of nice for CoCa. Any energy he can coax out of those sentries is going to be something that's going to help him defend that push a little bit later on.
Yeah, especially because Guardian Shield doesn't do a thing against Zerglings.
Well,
so.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I think CoCa's going to be pretty ready for this. He's got a decent supply lead right now. It's only 2 Immortals. And if he can delay long enough for Zergling's speed to finish, he's going to be in great shape.
Now, I love that Squirtle put down 2 more cannons back at home. It makes the threat of a Zergling counterattack so much less daunting. And unfortunately, 2 Stalkers getting caught off guard there. A third taking a little bit of damage as well, but that's not going to stop the push up at the front. Squirtle just powering his way through.
Yep, 1 pylon does get taken out by CoCa, but Squirtle threatening with another couple of them. Man, he is putting a ton into this push. Roach speed and Zergling speed finishing right now. +1 weapons getting very close as well. A little bit of delaying tactics there for CoCa to wait for a few more Stalkers to get warped in, it looks like.
And he's cutting off the attack path with these pylons in some capacity as well. It's going to filter units through very, very slowly. This is really clever by Squirtle, I have to say. He's going to continue bouncing his way up. The Queen is going to fall. Looks like CoCa just trying to rally the rest of his forces. He's on 157 supply, but now he's supply blocked, so 2 more Overlords have to come up, and that's going to give Squirtle a bunch of time to start warping in yet more units.
Oh, yeah, and you mentioned it too. I mean, that Protoss, or that pylon positioning rather, is really, really good. It definitely keeps whatever's on that side of his army safe. He can kind of like snuggle up against those pylons and just kind of make that his sort of launching pad for different attacks here. Nice force fields.
Oh, wow.
Almost trapping those Zerglings. Not quite. And the Roach is trying to come down the ramp. You know, CoCa is eventually going to get down. Squirtle's going to run out of energy at some point, but will it be too late by then? The third base of CoCa is just getting hammered right now.
He's warping at a couple more sentries right now, but as we can see, he just continues to do more and more damage. The third base goes down.
Yeah.
Squirtle has executed this just so efficiently.
You know, when this attack was coming, CoCa looked like he was going to be in a good spot to defend this. He had enough units, he had the position correctly, but the attack from Squirtle has just been so methodical, so safe. He hasn't, I mean, he's been doing this, I don't know, this is like the safest push I've ever seen a Protoss player do. It's just timed out, just spaced out so beautifully.
Yeah, just one of the most effective I've seen as well.
I mean, I'm a Zerg player, but I've got a lot of respect for this push here, man. This is impressive.
This is pretty cool stuff. So, all right. So I just want to make sure that nothing's going on back at home that we can see. No, I mean, no real threat. Like Squirtle's not really under any threat. We do have drops being researched, but I don't know if CoCa's going to be able to get that out in time. Squirtle decides he has enough forces. He's going to start making his way through the front.
Yeah, well, CoCa did use drops to beat Squirtle in the game recently here, but I don't think that's going to work this time. The Stalker count's so high, surrounded by the units of CoCa, but will they be enough?
Yeah, I mean, CoCa supply is just plummeting at the moment. How many workers has he lost? 31 already. He's only got 19 on the field now. The rest of the units are falling, and Squirtle is just looking to roll to victory in game number
another
1.
warp in from from Squirtle, rather, and those Stalkers are going to finish off the rest of those roaches. All the workers are dead anyway. Hatchery is probably going to go down fairly soon, and the drone's just saying, we want to die too, before CoCa types the GG and get ready for it. Here it comes. 3, 2, 1, and come on. Oh, I felt like I was really close. I think a lot of players would have GG'd by now, but CoCa just kind of taking some time, I think, to analyze it a little bit. Think about what he could have done differently, and there it is.
There
GG.
it is. GG.